Slightly Vegan, you're live on the air now with Shar and Drew. Welcome to the channel.
Hey guys, can you hear me?
I can hear you. Yeah, how are you doing?
I'm doing great. I feel indestructible.
Why do you feel so indestructible, Slightly Vegan?
Well, I do eat meat. I'm feeling great. I reclaimed my health. I used to be really overweight.
Okay.
Yeah, and then I saw Forks Over Knives. Yeah, I fell for that real strong. I loved it. I used to believe all that stuff. I used to believe in that the vegans had some kind of special insight into how things worked in the world.
Okay, yeah.
And
I'm very familiar with that, by the way. That really strikes me
right.
hard because I resonate with that a lot. Like, they had some secret antidote that, like, the government was trying to keep secret from everybody, and the vegans are like, the gorillas eat the grass. It makes sense. Okay, sorry. Got me excited.
No, exactly. No, it draws you in, and I guess you feel like you're in a special club, and you're with the cool people now, and right, you can look out and see how everyone's doing everything wrong, and they don't know any better, and if they would only know, or if you could teach them, it's a pretty fun feeling, but I did regain my health. It was because prior to that, I was just eating junk food like no tomorrow, just massive binges.
As a
Every
vegan
night.
or before veganism?
No, just as a real sad dieter, really
Gotcha.
sad.
Really
So
sad.
let me just jump to why I'm calling. So I probably have the same background as everyone. I would say when I went to meat, so after a few years, or it's probably quicker than that, after a year, I just said, well, let's try meat. And, and meat tastes great. It's nutritious. And eventually it helped me to lose even more weight because, I found it more satiating. And I could eat smaller meals.
How overweight were you, and like what was your condition when you went vegan? And what was your condition when you left veganism?
Okay, so going in, my high weight in pounds was 235 pounds, 105 kilos, and I'm only 5'9" or 175 centimeters, so I was really heavy.
Yep.
I
And we're not
had
talking muscle mass
psoriatic.
here, right? You weren't on steroids, lifting weights in the gym or anything like that, right?
No, I was sitting on the couch watching TV, eating fast food.
Okay.
And I had psoriatic arthritis really bad. So now I think what did me the most benefit for the psoriatic arthritis was just a standard drug, or not a standard drug, but a very nice drug that it's called Humira, and they advertise it pretty strong, and it's an expensive medication, but it's all paid for by insurance. So that was very helpful in that it cleared up my symptoms and it allowed me to start moving again. So yeah, then I saw Forks Over Knives, and yeah, I would have to say it was a revelation because it truly I didn't know that you could eat fresh food, and I had no idea, and I was just eating crap. And yeah, it does taste pretty good compared to, or it was a good way to go. I enjoyed it.
So you
Although
had some results, right?
I had, I'm sorry, I had what?
You got some results, right? When you went vegan, did you
Oh
lose
yeah,
some weight?
oh
Did you
yeah,
you felt better?
oh yeah. Immediately, yeah, you start feeling great. The weight just comes down it comes down really quick and steady. And this is compared to the worst of the sad diet. So yeah, it went down. It did great. I felt that euphoria of being, that new veganish type person, and wow, I know there was a euphoria with that kind of outweighed the God, this is bland, because I was a big Dr. John
Mm-hmm.
McDougall follower.
So you were doing
Boy,
the
that stuff.
potato burritos and all
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, no oil, right?
No oil. Yeah. They're loaded.
So, it's so bad. It's okay, but you believe it, right? And you go with it, and your weight's going down, and my weight went really far down. It's wonderful. And then I remember, right, at the end of the year, right? I've been doing this for a long time. Then we finally had Thanksgiving. The holidays came, and boy, just biting into some meat. I think we had prime rib, and it's unbelievable how good that tastes when you've been doing John McDougall for the last 9 months. Okay, and the apple cider. Oh my God, that was good.
So what do you think about vegans? Because Shar and I, we're pretty deep in the vegan community, I'd say, especially just YouTubing and stuff like that. We kind of know like what a vegan response would be to that. So a vegan would tell you, well, meat is very stimulating. It's an addiction. So therefore, yeah, that's why it tasted so good. There's a stimulating factor to eating animal foods that is unnatural. What do you say to that?
No, I think it's the other way around. Eating meat reconnects you with being a human being, and being a sensuous, or someone who's you're rooted in the physical world, and the ability that we had to overcome the elements and figure out a way to raise meat and cook it and season it and just prepare it and sit down and have it. Oh my God, that's the revelation. That is, this is what living is. Pretty, a large degree it's about. And
I agree with you. And a little interesting piece of history. To my knowledge, I'm not a historian, and I haven't been to the the museums or whatever. But according to my research, we've only been using ovens for around 250 to 400,000 years, which is around the same period of time that we started gaining the amylase enzyme in our saliva. So around the same time, it kind of coordinates that we started eating tubers and plants and the ability to actually bake things in a controlled manner. Yeah. But we've been using fire for over 1 million years. So Beautiful. We've been cooking our foods, meats, all that stuff for way longer than we've been eating any type of plant vegetation and cooking with that.
I think we're adapted to eating starch. I don't have a problem with it. I think that Dr. McDougall's half right. Yeah, you could do fine eating starches only. Well, relatively fine. I mean, I think you're right. I take a look at these guys, and they do look. They don't age well. I hope I'm not being unscientific, but
no, this is an unscientific channel. The science of health and nutrition is so convoluted with facts and studies and this and that on both sides. So let's wipe the slate clean. What are your results? What are my results? It's like as if we were brand new humans and we didn't know anything about it. Like, let's put the stuff to the test and let's talk about it. That's the real current science right now.
Right. Well, I think the science does support eating meat. I don't think it. I mean, some people. Well, I think one of the reasons why I'm calling is because, I might be. So I actually enjoy. I follow Ivor Cummings. I think he's a great communicator. He's a great science communicator, and I think what he conveys to people is the leading edge. It's advanced. Cardiovascular care. It's advanced. Lipid studies, and I think he does a good job. I mean, he might be biased, but I think he clearly presents the case that meat can be eaten safely by lots of people. I mean, maybe not everybody, but certainly there's people. There's no sign whatsoever that if people are developing any kind of cardiovascular disease, even though they might be eating a pure carnivore diet for 20 years and they're middle-aged. They have no signs of any kind of cardiovascular disease. I mean, they whip out the calcium coronary scan, and they are clean.
Mm-hmm.
So
what do you say to vegans that refute that?
is, I don't think there's anything to refute it, but I think that some people maybe should not eat. I mean, I wouldn't care unless it was me. It is me. So while I was heavy and super overweight and whatever, severely obese, and possibly because of the psoriatic arthritis, that I developed a non-zero. I developed a pretty sick. I took my calcium score. I took that CT scan last year, and it came out. I was shocked. I mean, I was shocked that it came in at 304. And
wow, very high risk.
Yeah, so that's right.
And that was while you were a vegan, or can you give us a timeline on that?
So that was last year. So I had lost the weight. So I was very heavy in mid 2013. I took that CAT scan 5 years later, mid 2018. And so that's 5 years of losing weight and eating healthy. Okay. So, I think so I'm actually working with a doctor that, he's on, I'm not going to mention, so I'm going to protect our client-patient relationship. I think it goes both ways. He's very, very knowledgeable about all this stuff. He's studying this stuff. He's taking continued education and public health education. Besides, he's a practicing doctor, but he is also interested in this. So the question is, right, when did I accumulate this calcium buildup, in my heart? And it could be due to that. I had decades.
When did you actually? So you said you took the scan mid last year, right? Right. How long into veganism were you at that point when you took the newest CAC?
Well, I was probably vegan for less than a year, and this is like 5 years. This is 4 years after I quit veganism. So I don't know if that 300 number is me. I don't know. I think it could be clearing up. I mean, the reason why I'm not worried about it, because my lipids, my advanced lipids, my C-reactive P, everything looks so beautiful. Everything was just wonderful.
What I'm trying to figure out is where you So you said you were vegan in 2013, or was it last year?
Yeah, I'm not blaming veganism for anything other than it not being perfect. So, I mean, I think veganism's a great start. I didn't have
what I'm saying though is that vegans will say that if you go low fat, low protein for like a matter of months, your arteries will just clear up magically. So I'm just trying to figure out when your veganism was in relation to that latest CAC.
Right. Good point. Yeah, that's a one. Right. So again, like a person in my situation, a vegan will tell me, look, the only proven, high, I guess it would be, what would it be called? It would be this interventional diet, this intensive diet we can prescribe to you that'll reverse your cardiovascular diseases, whatever, the special John McDougall diet. Okay. Now I know that everyone argues as to either how reproducible that is or how accurate. And I took a look at the study, or I took a quick look. The control group, the people that did poorly and dropped out, their weight was higher. They did everything wrong, right? I don't think it's fair to. I would say that a better control arm would have been a healthy omnivore diet, right? You have this, you have the same kind of intensive adherence, right? But it contains meat, right? So yes, a vegan would tell me, go vegan, go Dr. McDougall, go or Caldwell Esselstyn. That's no fun, right? I mean, I think that's pointless. I think my point is my advanced lipids, my inflammation is so low, and because I bicycle like a maniac every day. By the way, I'll challenge anyone that's listening, even up to Durian Rider, right?
That's bold. He's the king,
right? So, right, but here I am staring at a 304 calcium score, which I will take again later. I mean, I am not going to go on a statin just yet. But I'm 55, right? I feel I feel great. I feel indestructible. But this is where you need to worry a little bit about.
For sure.
I think you can't. Right there, you go. Thanks.
No, you need to do whatever you need to do. Don't buy into any diet that's not giving you the results. And I think people would be shocked to hear me say that because they think I'm just like the carnivore promoter now. But that's not what we're talking about here. We're talking about a results oriented approach. If you're eating like 95% animal products for the last year and your CAC is still over 300, well, maybe you got to look into that, maybe change something else up. And my brother, by the way, this is another little story of mine. My brother, not that long ago, because he's into cycling too, there was a guy around that age that just literally passed out on the bicycle in front of him on the bike trail and had a flat out heart attack right there.
Oh my God.
So this is not something to take lightly. And even if you're in the freaking dopest shape ever, I still think there's something to, you got to still wonder a little bit more about, what's going on there. Like even if the bicycling performance is amazing, because this happened to my brother in real life,
Hey, that's very interesting to know. Right. So I'm actually using a new, one of these, concierge medical services, and it seems like a really good deal. And so I'm getting that as a supplement to my GP and my rheumatologist, and on top of that, I'm getting very personalized attention, watching over this problem.
Awesome.
So, okay, well, I really appreciate your. Thanks for letting me share the story, and I'd like that you just add a little bit of data. And it brought out the fact that you are aware of all these issues. You're not just making things up, going ideological on people, right? So
no, whatever gets the result, like whatever works, that's the way that I look at it. Whatever's working, even if veganism is working for somebody, objectively speaking, we haven't seen it yet, but if it does do that, then stick with veganism. That's what I tell people.
All right. Yeah, and maybe who knows? Maybe I'm going to do the Esselstyn diet eventually. Who knows?
Maybe. I would go look in the Sean Baker direction first. By the way, he had a CAC of 0 after like 2 or 3 years of eating a 100% animal food. So check it out.
So who was that?
Sean Baker. He's the guy who's like the online promoter of the
Sean
carnivore.
Baker. But did he ever have a non-zero score?
Don't know if he took one before he went carnivore, but I know he took one after 2 years of carnivory, and he had a score of 0. And I know that Eric Berg, the keto guy on YouTube, took one after 5 years of keto, and he had a score of 0 as well.
Right. Those guys were always healthy. I mean, I had very black periods of going very overweight.
Gotcha. So you're saying your CACs could have been even worse, like 5 years ago?
Yes. Yeah. So I tweet. I actually post my results. I try to. Ivor probably knows who I am because I do talk to him on Twitter. I'll keep updating my info, and I'm hoping I either don't progress or maybe even the CAC score regresses. I'll be able to take that. When the 1 year anniversary comes up on my old score. So
okay, cool.
So thanks again. It's good to I love the channel, and I appreciate all the entertainment you're bringing us. So
awesome. Thank you for calling in.
Okay, all right.
Take it easy, Slightly Vegan. Alrighty. Someone in this chat said Shard talks too much. What do you think? What do you think about that, Shard? Obviously they're joking. Let's see here. We got to catch up a little bit. So I didn't exactly get the information I wanted out of him because it sounded like our last caller was vegan back in 2013. I couldn't tell if he was vegan in 2013 or if he was vegan last year and then took the CAC at the end of the vegan stint. Maybe if he's in the chat, he can clear that up if we had a little miscommunication there. But I was trying to figure out when he was vegan because the vegans, you know, Esselstyn and stuff like that, they'll tell you that if you go low fat vegan, that you'll clear up your arteries like that. You know, a couple of months, you could potentially have cleaned out arteries. So I'm just curious to see, like, if he took that CAC at the end of a 9-month vegan stint doing McDougall's diet protocol, and he still had a CAC of 300, that's not good. That's not very impressive. That was what I was trying to get at. All right. JG Lee, $5 bomb. Thank you, sir. If you can play 2.5 minutes of this video, Greg Judy explains how not to feed hay by growing prime winter stockpile. Let's see what this is all about. I know you wouldn't lead me astray, so. Okay. Let's, Greg Judy. Any other input on that last caller before we move on? Shar?
No.
You seem like, you know, and that's the other thing too. I just don't think people should relate their, like, they shouldn't totally put all the faith on their physical performance as in terms of their health. Like, just because you can bench press 315 pounds for 10 reps and you're the strongest dude in the gym at 8% body fat doesn't mean that your heart is about to give out like that. And, you know, we see this all the time with bodybuilders. They die all the time in their 40s.
That's why I worry about running raw.
On what kind of health?
Running raw.
Running raw? Oh, who is that? Another vegan or YouTuber?
Yeah, but he's always out there running and he just looks so sick. And
got it. Yes. Yeah. Just because you can perform athletically, like, that's one piece of the puzzle. Don't get me wrong. That's important. Like, if you're getting injuries that don't heal or you're not able to gain muscle mass, like, there's something going on there hormonally or, you know, building blocks, amino acids that are not getting to the right places. But just because you are physically fit doesn't mean that you're healthy. That's my point, is like, it doesn't work the other way.